G'day guys, it's Jay here from Journey of a Whitefeather with the kangaroos, koalas and the Steve Irwin impersonations, and this is a chat with Jay. A chat with me on my journey from the dark holes back in 2019 when I had anxiety, depression and a pseudo stroke, up to now where I want to motivate you to be your best self. I have opinions, I have awareness, I have life experiences that I want to share with you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you do have a comment or you do want to come on the show, please email whitewarriorhealth@gmail.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. But please enjoy the next episode of A Chat with Jay. I just have chats with people, as you see, because very interesting. Number one, because you learn a lot. Two, people have a lot of great insight into the world.
Yeah.
Where I'm at. Great insights, great intellectual chat. You know, just you can talk shit, which is great. And you and me can talk shit. We've known each other for years. But when you get on that level where you can have a discussion about what's happening, because it's good that I basically have got a goal to inform and could get people to inform people, make people aware, and and basically have some sort of critical thinking, because I don't think anyone does it.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think many people think critically.
As I said to you, we had that chat before, and probably the main thing is, I think, when we both agree with this, that's why I decided I'll give a chat with this one. This is good. Male and female prerogative with regards to relationships. We've had this discussion. I think mainly to do with not even relationships, to do with the standing in community. Where do you think it's at?
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that? Let me see. Has the status and the standard of each of the sexes changed in the last couple of years, and why do you think so? And do you think it's all of humanity as a collective, or just one of the sexes, or a particular person or people, or individual, basically?
I think definitely has changed. When I see like my niece who's 20 and compare her to how I was at that age, like my goal was to have a job that I could support myself, get married and have children, right?
Yeah.
Hers is not that goal, and her friends do not have that goal. I didn't look at, like my dad always said to me, a man is not a plan. You have to be able to support yourself. And which was, I know, was very different from all my friends who got married at 21 and had their kids and just never worked again. Still don't work. So it's like my dad taught me differently, even though he supported his wife, my mum. So, and that's just what I've always done. I've always supported myself and been the breadwinner and all that kind of thing. I've never relied on anyone for anything. But again, that comes from my childhood and my trauma of not being able to rely on people to keep me safe. So I had to do it myself. So that's, it's all come from there. And what I don't know is, do young women think of relationships differently now? Yes. Because to how I used to, because they've not had the same life experience? Or is it a cultural thing in terms of young women now expecting a man to come to them with, loads of money and looking after them?
Six figures, six pack, and six.
Yeah.
Or what? I had 6 foot, six pack, six figures.
Yeah. And I just kind of think, well, if that's what all you want them to come to you with, then you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff.
Well, let me put it to you this way, on a man's perspective, and as I said to you, I'm not picking on hookup culture. Everyone's done it, and there's nothing wrong with two people who are physically attracted to each other. If they want to go and have a roll in the hay, no problem, right? Yeah. So clickbait that.
Yeah.
Good one, right? So you got to be, yeah, we can go into what, yeah, anyway. I'll get the next point there. Hang on, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Um, okay, yes. Okay, yeah. So you get to a point where, we talked about before, where, say, for guys, physical attraction, you go, she's nice, she's hot,
Yeah.
and that's it. Nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
appreciating. But so they go and have these one night, like they go and have the one night standards or whatever, and then they become a simp to the lady, which is it's funny because I think the good ladies go with the bad boys, and the boss and the bitches go with the good guys, and it's just this poor people over here. Oh my god, we should get together and we'll be happy. It's a stupid analogy, but everyone's individual and they draw to people they need to draw to learn and all this stuff. There's a lot more to it, but
Yeah.
you get up in the morning and you go, "What the fuck have I done?" And this is not getting preggers either. When you go, "Oh fuck, that shouldn't have happened. Got to get the hell out of here." You know what I mean? That's what I think a lot of blokes do in some
I
ways.
don't actually, because I've
No,
not
no, I was
been
just
like,
saying in general. I see it on TikTok all the time, and
I've had like,
I know people who've done it and gone, "Oh no, yeah, oh no."
that whole walk of shame thing they do where they just
Well,
film.
I didn't even go next to the walk of shame. I think it's even deeper than and go, you know, what the hell do after you get out, like, okay, so you get in a relationship, right? And they say guys think with their second head. I'll put it that way. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And then reality hits after that 3 month period of, okay, I think I've got everything I physically or I wanted out of it. Now where do we go? And this is where this is where you have to have a conversation with someone, and then you have to get up in the morning and go, "Have I lost myself here? Am I giving myself away here? This is just totally wrong?" And I've just got the emotion of being connected. And then this is the men's thing where men want to be respected. They want that connection. They want that lovely connection, because then what they do is they'll bring that lady in and they'll treat her like a princess and let her do what she needs to be better and be themselves, but also she'll support him to be himself. Tag team, wrestling, you've been in it. Tag team, like me and God bless his soul, Firestarter. We were a beautiful tag team. We
Yeah.
dressed in pink.
Yeah.
You get where I'm going with that?
No,
We had this discussion about a couple of months ago on TikTok. I liked your theory on it. Then you have to repeat it. I can't remember it.
remember my theory.
But it was a nice segue into when I said it's not the wham bam thank you ma'am theory, but then you wake up after a few months and go, oh nah. She might be dynamite there, but my God, when you get out, when you wake up and step out, oh jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a chain. But that's almost that could go for anyone. Don't get me wrong, but it's just coming from a male perspective.
Yeah. Well, I guess that happens for females as well. But
That's right.
some people, like, I can only speak for myself. Like, I hang in there and hope for the best and think, well, maybe, I need to look at myself a little bit more closely. And meanwhile, I'm doing that, and then the other one isn't doing that. And then things just gradually get worse. And then, I allow myself to be treated a particular way.
That's where I'm going. I had the same issue. I allowed myself to be treated, but I knew that was because of the way I was programmed as a younger child, or when they were younger. And we all go back to the catchword, inner child shadow work, and all this shit. All the ones they've gone and fucking bastardized and all this shit. Anyway, it's the truth. But it's like that they're bastardized, those words. But then you sort of bring those emotions into it, and you sort of lose who you are. And as I said, with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
You compromise yourself for the other person for the sake of saving face to everybody else, to show them that you can make something work. And might not actually be working. So
Why are we doing it? Because we're people pleasers. Well, I
yeah.
was sorry, I shouldn't speak for you, but I was a fucking
Yeah,
people
well,
pleaser.
definitely am a people pleaser. Don't want to hurt someone else, don't want to disappoint them, don't want to have that confrontation, don't want to,
Had enough in our lives. It's to a point where you've got that subconscious block in there and go, oh, red flag, red flag's hard to block. Don't worry, I've got it.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, I think it's a lot of things that go on and why you stay. But I think, particularly with, my son, I always talk to him about that. If something doesn't feel right, if you can't work together and talk through it or talk about it and come to some sort of agreement whereby you are both feeling yourselves,
Mm,
then you need to have a conversation about, well, is this worth continuing on? And there's nothing wrong with not continuing on with something. Sometimes you just give up. And
yep.
it's not giving up, it's
Had
moving on
enough.
and growing. Yeah.
Well,
So
they say that with what we're doing, like say I'm coaching someone, and even our mentors will say the same thing. Some people can't, you give them an opportunity, but you can't lead a horse to water and I'll make them drink all this shit,
yeah.
right? But the other thing is, we look at energetically, about crystals and all that stuff. Energetically, especially if we're in that realm of high positivity or that high
Mm,
vibration, that way, these energy vampires can suck the life out of you.
yeah. And you've got to recognize that for
Yes.
what it is, that's what it is, that they need your energy to feel good about themselves. They need your energy to be able to get through their day, or to think a certain way. And in some cases, that's, might just be your role with that person for that little while,
Yeah.
is to help. And as hard as it is to help them get through something. And then at the end of it, you kind of discard it because you've served their purpose in their life.
Yep.
And it's hard to accept that. But
Yes.
then, and some people have difficulty just accepting it,
That's
and will
exactly
fight and
right.
fight and fight to retain that and not acknowledge, well, hold on, what was your role in this? How, how has it helped you or not helped you? And, as you said, that critical thinking and reflecting on yourself doesn't often happen. And, sometimes you just have to accept that that's all you are in someone's life, is just to provide them with what they need to get through something. And then it's when you have to look at the agreements that you make with yourself and with that person, you know, are you having those discussions? And then if it's alerting something within you, then at that point, that's when you need to cut it off, because you
That's the
have a
hardest
choice.
thing, though. Hardest thing,
Yeah,
though,
it's
isn't it?
hard. It's
But
hard.
yeah, look, it's an interesting kind. That's why I loved it. That's why again, that's why I wanted to chat and put and give you the videos too to put on yours, because I think you've got a lot of knowledge coming from where you are. No, I know exactly where you come from. We know pretty much each other's story pretty well. Um, knowing what we've gone through and where we're at. So that's why I wrote that book. Have you had a look at it yet?
Yeah, I've had a quick look. I've read a few of the
I wrote
beginning
it.
of it. So
I wrote
yeah,
it in 2 trips, one back and forth to America.
yeah,
I set
it
myself.
just flowed, did it?
It just flowed. It just
Mm.
well. The funny thing is with flow, ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this, flow. You just got to go. I think when you get into a point of awareness where you're sort of, and you got to get into a point of awareness, but also a point of the vibration where you're at, and it's very hard. I function better out of Melbourne. That's the way it was. And I just can't function here properly. Just the way it
Mm.
is. It's a long story. And everyone goes, oh, it's in your mind. Yeah, it is. Done the work, know where the problem is, and go from there. But that's something we'll deal with anyway. But when I got on that plane, I gone, right, done. It just happens. And then this is why I was talking
Mm.
about flows. So yeah, have you had those in your life?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to write a book? I think I've already asked
Maybe.
you.
Yeah, you have. Maybe I might. I might.
I reckon yours would be very
Not
interesting.
feeling brave.
It'd be very interesting. Some of the views you had. I think the other one that came up, that's why I wanted to chat to you. And we had, as I said, we had this, and this is going to go live. We had this random on TikTok, which was quite funny. That was
I'll
good.
be Jane, yes.
That was good. This is where it all started.
Yeah.
I thought this is pretty cool. This is pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's the first time
Yeah.
you've done it too, isn't it?
I've been live on TikTok before, but
What's your purpose on
yeah,
going live? What do you want to achieve?
I don't know if I want to go live.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of think of it. I'm like, well, who am I to think that I have anything worth listening to,
You do.
or why do I think that I'm so important that I need to be listened to? Like, so, do you know what I mean? Like, that's
How
how
about you
I.
put it to you this way? How about you put it to you this way? And everyone can go on this social media path of egotistical. I'm this. I'm that. But you have a lot to give with what you've gone through in each of your life, especially what you've done and what we've done. That's why we had that chat. I thought you've got a lot to let go. Not let go. You got a lot to. I should say,
I do have a lot to let go.
I say let go, meaning you got a lot of knowledge to partake. The fact that I always say your PhD in life. I always make a joke of PhD in life. I go, in my life, they go, oh, well, you got a PhD. I go, yeah, PhD in my life, mate. I went through it and I've actually got to a point where I can say I got a PhD.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept. So what do you
Yeah.
think about what do you get out of TikTok? These questions are very funny. You put them to normal people, like normal everyday people, you get 101 different answers.
Yeah, yeah, especially what you get out of TikTok. So I started on TikTok because Finn wanted to use it, and I wanted to see what it was like before I allowed him anywhere near it, which is what I've done with.
Oh, bloody hell. What's the, oh my God. Oh my God, it's a responsible parent. Shit. Oh my God. Quick, give her a gold medal.
And so far from doing that, I've got into gaming and I've got into a whole heap of other stuff I never thought I would. So
you played Tetris?
No, I play Fortnite COD.
Oh really? I got no
Red
idea.
Dead. Lots of mostly shooting games, so that might tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, but yeah,
but you enjoy them anyway. It's like, look,
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's my. I'll tell you what I think about now. I think it's all right, because I know where your head's at. It's like, I don't watch as much movies or anything. I do watch them, but I like watching. I want to watch cricket, right?
Yeah.
It's just something to keep you. And I'll watch Jordan Peterson. I'll watch Victor Otto. I'll watch Candace Owens. I watch all those right now. And you got to have a balance of where you go. But it's funny, like what you say with regards to playing games. It just takes you another world. But depending where your head's at when you're doing it. So when I was watching The Dirt from Motley Crue, and my brain was frying from the inside, and then I've just gone, when I go, I'm going to be Nikki Sixx, I was actually physically doing it. When he did it, God bless him, he got through, read his heroin diaries. Have you read that?
No,
Watch it. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I've read little bits and pieces, but I just some of the stuff, like I've met Steven Adler and just the energy of him. Yeah, so he was quite bad, and I've read his books and his mum's book as well that she wrote, because I thought, well, I'm a mum, like I want to know, I want to be aware of all of this sort of stuff, what happens, how it all occurred for him. And he actually came to Australia with his mum, and I got to meet him, and he gave me 2 paintings I have as well. So
you're a massive Gunners fan, right?
Oh, not so much.
Just
not so much. I was a massive Steven Adler fan because I thought he was.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
cute, and I liked the way he drummed. And I don't think they sounded the same when he left. I didn't like the sound when he left. So,
But anyway, but you got a lot out of that personal experience with him.
yeah, and just meeting him and hearing him talk about all the stuff he went through, and obviously one of the stories with Nikki Six, where Nikki Six, he saved Nikki Six by jabbing him with adrenaline. So, and just feeling his vibe now. And then when he talks about that stuff, you can feel him change. So it's really interesting. So I kind of feel like if I read the heroine diaries, a different energy will come off. Not one so much of healing, but of all of that, the trauma and the darkness
that's what. So that's interesting where you're going. So I wouldn't. But this is where everyone understands where your mind's at. You know what I mean? What's your actual current state? It's not a bad thing or a good thing. Although it's a good thing, but you just at where you're at. Like I read it, I'm enthralled by where he went and his journey. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my journey, right? And what I'm doing, but I'm enthralled by and then when I read that thing and when watched the dirt, where my head was at, this is one of my, I think it's number 4, can't remember. Anyway, here's what it is. I think it's number 4. Actually, no, it's number 13. What you feed your mind, you feed your body all this good stuff, but you feed your mind shit if your mind's already in a bad way, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there, didn't realize I was on the way down, watching this dirt. I watched about 5 times. Then suddenly went blah, 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 and then there was that, and then then you sort of lose your shit. So I was thinking about what are you feeding yourself? You know what I mean? And
yeah, exactly.
Absolute credit to him.
Yeah,
where he's at.
Yeah.
You had any of those situations before in your life?
Of what?
That just you sort of understood what you're feeding your brain wasn't.
All the time.
It wasn't the content; it was where you're at. Did you sort of have a revelation and say, "Hang on a minute, that's triggering me a bit. What's happening in my mind?" Or you know what I mean? So there's like
lots all the time, all the time,
all the time. That's great.
All the time, I find I'm very affected by like I won't watch the news because I can't handle seeing the negativity and people being hurt. It's not that I don't know what's going on in the world. I'm fully aware.
Oh, you are fully aware. I know this. That's
why
it's so damn good.
Yeah, and I just don't, I just feel like if the more you watch it, the more you are breathing life into that way of life. And sadly, I think there's a lot of people breathing life into horrible, negative stuff. And
they don't even know it, do they?
It perpetuates and grows and grows and grows.
Exactly. I think so too. Like I think that that's what very interesting concept on that where the vibration of what, and if we can go right into what there's a lot more to what's happening. You've seen how I've gone gung ho, but the reason why I've gone gung ho is because I see it, and the crit comes down to awareness, people critically thinking and actually making a conscious choice, a conscious informed choice. So if I say to them, look, for example, I might say, all right, this bloke's spent $70 million plus on his driveway because he doesn't want to live in Kirribilli House, and he's spending all the money on this and not spending the money on people's, putting something into, people living on tents, and you're spending money on a driveway. But you could look at it, it has to be nice for the Prime Minister. Yeah, you can look at it that way. That's fine. But it gives people an actual choice of how to say, what's going on. But I always say to people, look at your backyard. You don't have to. You don't like both of us are in education with what's actually directly affecting us. That's how I make my choices.
Yeah.
That's how I. And I'm as I said, I'm full on in the scene. But I can't not look at it and go, can't do that.
Yeah.
People need to know. It's not a case of, I'm going to go and do this, this, and this. That's not the thing. Freedom fighting, whatever you want to call it. meaning it's being an informative person to say this is what's happening. That's why you got Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly in the States. I'm more up on state American politics than what I am here at the moment. All I know is that Victoria's at $156 billion of debt and counting, and this is the debt, and then there's a friggin' debt of God knows what else in Australia. You know what I mean?
But is American politics politics, or is it just the big boys game of who has the most cash? That's the problem.
Fair call. Or is it, or I see it as when I went to San Fran, it was very blue. That's all I'm going to say. It's very blue. Wasn't really red. They didn't like the red there because the blue, they think the blue's doing great for them because they've got their independence and their voice. Not doing very good for their lives. San Francisco.
I don't know. I just see constantly over there like the issues with people with cancer not being able to get treatment, that they have to pay for that themselves. People who have diabetes not being able to afford their
This is where that's
like,
always
that's
been an
disgusting
issue.
to not look after your people.
Yeah, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which government's in it. If someone was to make that change, that would
their system. Like,
well, that's their system. But you can send $100 trillion or whatever the hell they are. They're in debt at the moment to Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve. Yeah. Oh, we'll send them over to war, and from my own ego, and then we'll treat our veterans like crap when they come back. So, look, I'm a Trump supporter. Everyone knows this. And the only reason I am, as I said to Canadians and Americans, I said, listen, only thing I want to look at is no one's the next coming, but if you've got a little bit of hope, that's all. That's why we do it. And that's exactly why we do it. And we're looking at our own.
You know what I think of him?
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing is, and this is where let's go. Okay, we can bring this up. This is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen, of two best friends who have different opinions, meaning Mankind and Undertaker. You probably saw that video. Mate, totally different, but what should that affect a great friendship? Absolutely bloody not. There you go. Bang, finished.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem to be like that over in America. No,
it happens in Australia. What are you talking about? Happened here too.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's not just a politics thing, but I'll give it to you this way. I do the village people, right?
Yeah.
Mate, as soon as I whip out why I'm saying I'm not doing this thing here, right? I'm actually doing that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, saying, it's not correct. You shouldn't be doing it. It's happening here, trust me.
Really?
In the village people tribute, mate. I'm not even doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not even doing that. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'll say to you. It is happening.
But I don't understand
we don't understand this
over their politics. Like, that's crazy. Like, why would you?
But you and me understand this because you've got your version. I've got my version. Everyone can live the way. Is it really going to affect what we're doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't have and this is the thing I talk about, respect for people.
Yeah.
Respect for people. It comes down, when people attack you. When you have people shit stir you, right? This is what I always say to people. People who shit stir, if you get a little inkling in here when someone shit stirs you, they're not doing it for the best of your good. But if you got someone to go, oh, you're a dickhead, and you go, piss off, will you, mate? Or you got someone who goes, you're a dickhead, and you go, that doesn't sound very good out here. So you know how they got that. That's a relationship thing. You sort of have that little bit of an inside going. They got that. Mate, they shouldn't be doing that. They're not at your level. You know what I mean? Whether you respond, how you respond is a different way. It's like any conflict, which I'm a conflictator. I'll be honest with you. We both are, especially someone who hasn't had the training or the experiences to actually put through good boundaries and good procedures, strategies. Strategies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hasn't had the
Yeah.
life experience to actually put down some strategies on what people, but also people are changing as well. You know, they're getting more self-centered. Oh yes, I'm worthy. Everyone's worthy, mate, but you're not worthy of
That's right.
everyone
Yeah.
else.
You're not worthy to enough to hurt other people. Like that means you're unworthy. So in my
Agreed.
mind, anyway. Yeah.
Agreed. And this
It
is what
doesn't mean, and that's the other thing too, like people thinking they know everything about someone's life when they actually don't. You don't. It
how
doesn't
do you
matter.
how do you know? Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Yeah.
really? Oh right.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
And then like whole groups and chat groups and everything like that, discussing someone else's life. And
God, it's
it's
great, isn't it?
like,
I mean, celebrities are in that thing, but I got another pot with Hollywood was a
yeah.
I did a video, right? You'll appreciate this. So you got Hollywood, right? So Hollywood, like LA, whatever, right? So you got this nice little bubble here, right? Normal people going in, and then you got your friggin' big fucking movie world, where it is in the middle with Hollywood Boulevard, all that shit, right? 10 miles up the road, you got people living in squalor and all that in this area,
Yeah.
except for 10 miles up the road, you got billionaires and millionaires up there. Celebrities living the nice life. Oh yes, we've got a movie, and not to say, look, I've watched movies, I watch all this stuff. You look it up there and you go, oh yeah, this is great. We're doing a great movie for the movie, blah 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 blah. But what are they? What's really happening? They're 10 miles up the
Yeah.
road. People, done people see there's no discharge. You're giving
Yeah.
them money to keep living their life, which is fine if you want to. Don't have a problem. I've done it. We've all done it.
Yeah.
But then when you become aware of it, you know what I mean? It's not right, especially in the climate we're in now.
Yeah. I saw a thing the other day where it was an American thing. They were talking about how many homeless people there are in America
God.
compared to how many billionaires there are in America. And they came up with like a figure of if each billionaire gave just $1 million, it could get every single homeless person out of poverty.
Really?
And yeah.
Wow.
And they were like, it's not going to happen, but that's all it would take.
Wow. Well,
And
they won't do
like,
that.
well, I kind of feel if you can see someone needs something, money is infinite. It comes and it goes. You're gonna have
Well,
times
they
that you're
print it
gonna look
like
at it.
anything, don't they?
Yeah. And it's not like a finite resource. Money's everywhere. And if you're lucky enough, share it, give it, and help someone out so that they don't have to do something that they don't want to do to get it if they don't have the means. I'm all for that. And I don't think that's like the thing too, when you see like the TikTok battles and things like that, they're battling for money. And it's like
Oh, I
hardly
haven't
any
really
money.
taken much notice of that. I got no
Yeah.
idea.
Well,
I
they
thought they were
battle
just
for
singing
it,
off or something. I thought they were just
literally.
really.
No. And it's like, I'll give in those because it's like you're trying to get somewhere with life. You're trying to do something with your life. You obviously need some money for something. So I'm going to help you because I don't want to see, especially young people, I don't want them to have to go and do something like sell themselves because they need money.
Even though it's a cool thing to do these days, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No,
And that's
it is.
the scary thing is that,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, the thing to being
And there is,
empowered.
have you seen those two? There's two ladies on TikTok. One is called Classy Susan, and the other one is called Deb Moore.
No,
They're
I haven't
both,
seen them. Sorry, no.
one is still an active S worker,
Right.
and the other one has given it up.
Okay.
So Deb is an active S worker and is also openly discussed her drug use and the want to try and get off the drugs.
Yep.
Classic Susan is no longer an S worker and has been clean and sober for a number of years. And they're arguing. There's TikToks back and forth of them arguing. It's quite the drama, but it's really
Like bold and bloody
interesting.
beautiful.
Yeah, well, it is, and it's just interesting seeing both their perspectives on what they used to do and why they used the drugs and the alcohol to be able to do what they do. And the Classy Susan lady put out a a TikTok basically addressing that it's not cool, that you're going to end up having to be either high or drunk to be able to do your job. And when you get to my age, when you look back on your life, you're going to realize how traumatized you are.
Yeah.
So,
look, I
and
don't
she's
have a
in
problem.
her 60s, I think. So, and it's just like,
Each to
that
their
that
own,
was
I guess,
really
isn't
good
it?
advice to young people, men and women, because I feel like there's an increasing number of men doing it now.
I think there's more than it's covered up.
Yeah, and
I think it's more. I think it's more, and it's covered up. I don't have any proof, but
yeah,
I would not be surprised
yeah.
because
So when you see the thirst trappers on TikTok, or when I see them, I'm like, well, I'm going to give you that money because I don't want you to have to
you're a good
do
person.
anything that you might regret.
You're a good person. There you go. That's what we become good friends.
But people don't understand, like, people don't understand that. People look at that, well, you're trying to buy them. It's like, no,
So there's
trying to
the
give them
opinion.
means to live in
Yeah.
order for them to not have to do something that they might regret.
This is the thing. Like you see, having a conscious awareness of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you do get. I don't mind chucking it, and this is where the bloody digital currency shit gives me the shits because you can't give people cash. Shits me to tears. Yeah, and I used to just throw money, whatever. That's why I went to America. You throw money in. It's a sad.
Yeah.
But on that note, we've got about 2 minutes left, and I've got to get up and do another one in the morning. But this was lovely. I hope you enjoyed that. It's really
I
good.
did. Good
Just
to
I said we
chat
go
to
have a
you.
chat and see how you go with it. I'll send you the videos.
Yep.
Did you want the raw cut? You happy to do the raw cut because you can edit yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. Sweet.
All right.
That was great. Really enjoyed that. Nice to
Oh,
have a
good.
chat. We haven't had a chat too. We haven't had a proper chat either because I know
No, not for a long time.
you are very bloody cluey. I'll tell you. Always known it. You're very bloody cluey. You've been more cluey than I have. You've been more cluey that more. You have been longer cluey than I have. I think anyway. I only got a
Am
5.
I older than you? I'm older than you, aren't I? That's probably why.
Nah, what? I'm 50 now.
I'm 51 this year.
Oh, I tell you, all right. All right. Yeah, I'm 51 this year as well, so we're the same age.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just think you have more clue. I don't know, just you were more cluey than what you're cluey than that. So yeah. Anyway, this is going to run out. Love to the family.
All right.
I'll send this to
Yep.
you, and this is great. And we can chuck it on TikTok and see what. Just get it.
Okay.
Pick the good stuff. Just watch it again. Pick the good stuff and cut it. See how you go.
All righty.
Take care. Speak to you soon,
See
man.
ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.